So, this is One Piece, chapter 769. The title chapter is called The Pirate Bellamy. I'm like, oh, ooh. It's not like I don't find Bellamy an interesting character. He is interesting and he is overall okay in the scheme of One Piece. But I'm worried that based on this title, we are for some reason going to dive into a Bellamy flashback. And I'm like, we just got out of a Law flashback. So why would we go into a Bellamy flashback? Alright, I mean, that's my assumption. So let's just dive right in. So we left off with the injection shot by Law. I'm surprised that Tribble hasn't done a damn thing, because Tribble has apparently recovered. And he's just watching Doffy getting stabbed by Law. Rude. Okay, Law. Look at Law. Okay. That was pretty good. He dished out a pretty big room, and he cut the side of the palace in half. Like, fuck it. Like, yo, I'm here. I'm a D, dude. D. He's a D. Alright. Oh, tact! Flick. The entire tower is flying towards Flamingo and company. Spiderweb! Oh! Spider-Man! You got some competition from the Sky Demon. A string barrier, and he did so with ease. Like, even not like whatever. Spider's web. I got this. Don't worry about it, Tribble. I got you. Yo, I got this on lock right now. The hell's Law doing now? Law sends the individual pieces flying at Flamingo. Alright, but Flamingo dodges. Teleports behind Flamingo. Shambles. Mess. And Flamingo grabs his hand like, fuck your mess. Fuck that shit, nigga. You ain't touching me anymore. I know. Stop it. Who you think you fucking with? I'm practically your new daddy. Straight up. And I quote, quit throwing the same useless attacks at me. Hey, Law, what you did to Virgo? That multi-mountain shit, it's time to bring it out. It's time to bring it out, man. Because Flamingo, he ain't that easy, man. He ain't that easy. Basically, Flamingo telling Law, as he's holding him, as he's just floating around the palace, if you really wanted to kill me, you should have never abandoned your plan to pit me and Kaido against one another. Yeah. Like, seriously, I agree. Wholeheartedly so. Kaido would have fucked him up. Flamingo would have been shitting his pants right now, because Kaido would have been on his front damn door like, yo, I need my damn fruits. I need my smile. I ain't smiling, son. I need my shit. I need my fix. I think Law and Luffy did fuck up in those regards. I can't deny it. Yo, when I think about it, when I look at it from this viewpoint, just look at the horizon, man. The horizon is nothing but birdcage. I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ. With Flamingo, like, birdcage is huge. Seriously, like he really is phenomenally powerful, and he's so afraid of Kaido. Oh god. All right, moving on. Yo, Flamingo just delivered a pretty cool way of using his string. I know he can do that. Like, he has the string, like, that's cool. So his kicks can cut. I look like a fucking demon. But no, seriously though, it's pretty cool. And by the way, like, they keep on talking about the intel that Korra had on Dressrosa that Law gave to Virgo, mistakenly so, obviously. Like Flamingo's saying, even if the Marines got that intel, all I had to do was change my plans, and I would have taken this throne anyway. So me taking over Dressrosa was nothing but inevitable. And the terror and the horror that they all experienced on this island of Dressrosa, Rebecca, Viola, King Riku, Kiro, so on and so forth, this was all inevitable. So it's a pretty bold statement to make, but we're not that surprised because it is someone like Flamingo, someone who is always been, for the most part, a very intimidating and a very powerful individual. I mean, since he was a kid, he had the King's Hockey, for Christ's sake. Law is saying that everything that he does on this planet he's doing in the name of Corazon, pretty much. So again, showing you that Korra has been, at this point in time, we can safely say, the most important person in his life thus far. I mean, honestly, without Korra, Law would have died. What the fuck? Did he just cut off? He cut off Law's arm? Oh, well, man. Fuck. It's a big deal, but it's not a big deal because Law has the powers of the Open no Mi. He can probably just put his arm back into place, like whatever, fuck it. But still, damn. Apparently, he used this thing called the Jigsaw thread. That thread that he had on his on the underside of his shin, he calls the Jigsaw thread. Jigsaw! You wanna play a game? Like fucking that motherfucker. And of course, when you're dealing with that Jigsaw, body parts usually go flying off. And voila, bam, Law's arm not attached to his body. So, again, it's a big deal. This right here is, in fact, a big deal. Let me just zoom in real quick. Bam, move. Right here. That's a big deal. But, Law has the power to reattach his arm as if it were not a big deal. That is what the Opi no Mi can allow. Even after all of the crazy stuff that just happened in this chapter concerning Law's arm being cut off, concerning the spider web that Flamingo used to block the side of the castle that Law sent flying at him, Flamingo is still using the basic pistols. Embrace of death. I'm gonna shoot you with the same pistol I used to kill. Well, maybe it's not the same pistol, but either way, I'm gonna forgive you just like I did my father and my brother with a bullet. Yo, Flamingo, Don Quixote, DOFLAMINGO. Honestly, I think when it comes from a character standpoint to my favorite characters in One Piece, I think I need to raise him among my list of characters because I'm really so like Flamingo. I really am. Like he's on some other level, and the other level I want to reach. I want to attain Super Saiyan status like Flamingo has. Jet Gatling. Uh-oh, Monkey D, Monkey D. Luffy, taking out the fucking Monkey D, Luffy. Guy just blew apart the clone of Flamingo, but Luffy is still fighting against Bellamy, and now he just stopped controlling Bellamy. He put Bellamy down. Flashback of when Bellamy and Flamingo first met in the North Blue, apparently. So we are going into Bellamy flashback. Actually, no, not really. No, not really. We're getting like little snippets of flashback. So we're actually getting flashback. We're not getting like, let's go into a backstory saga. No, we're getting flashes of the past, hence flashback. Alright, so there was like this flashback. Like, we're getting flashback pieces as Bellamy is slowly getting up towards his feet. And Luffy's worried about him. But now Luffy's going to go up and try and fight against Flamingo. But Bellamy says, wait. And then he's springboarding, or he's making his legs to springs. And he has Luffy looking at him, and he says, do you remember this technique? And I think he's doing the same thing that he did against Luffy the first time. In Joa, I forgot what the island was called, but either way, he's doing the same thing they did against Luffy back then. And I'm thinking that, here's my assumption, so I haven't turned the page yet. I'm on page 18 right now. So I'm thinking this. I'm thinking that he's going to do the same technique that he did against Luffy beforehand. And Luffy is going to punch him in the face to knock him out. Because Bellamy, he still wants to hold pride in being Flamingo's subordinate. Spring Hopper. And Bellamy's just gone, dude. Bellamy is just vanished. Speed. Yeah, okay, yeah. So I was right. So that's what he's doing pretty much. So he's saying that the destructive power of the Spring Hopper is not as well as it used to be. He's gotten much stronger too. And then Bellamy says this. Here's the main thing right here. Screw you, because Luffy's saying, stop what you're doing, because you're gonna die. He's like, and I quote, Bellamy, screw you. Stop showing compassion for your enemy. See, I like that, because Luffy, he does do that kind of shit sometimes. Sometimes he's just too compassionate. Like, oh, like, I kind of knew this guy back in the day. He's an okay guy now. I'm gonna go easy on him. It's like, no. Luffy, hell no. Fuck no. I mean, I remember Zoro a few times trying to lecture Luffy on that shit. Like, this is the new world. Step your game up. Like, take this shit serious. So, and I continue. I know the extent of my own misery and the fact that I picked up the wrong man to look up to. But I ain't about to do something as pathetic as flip loyalties on the man I had admired for so long just because I didn't get the answers I wanted to hear. That's some shit right there. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's some shit right there. Let me quote that one more time. I like that. I ain't about to do something as pathetic as flip loyalties on the man I admired for so long just because I didn't get the answers I wanted to hear. You see that? You see that? You see that? I like that. You see, a lot of times in life, what we want is a steak. And I know, the song was random, but fuck it. A lot of times in life, sometimes we want a steak. We want a 5-star meal. But the reality is that instead of getting a 5-star meal, all we have is bread and butter. So even though you want a steak, even though you want lobster, the only thing you got is a fucking sandwich. So you gotta make do with what you got. And the answers to your questions in life aren't gonna come easy, and a lot of times you're not gonna find them. But Bellamy realized that just because I don't find the answers I want doesn't mean I change my convictions. I change my constitutions. That's some hardcore shit right there. I like that. I like that a lot. Fools have their own foolish way of doing things. Straw Hat, this is my final fight. Join me. Like, yo, pull some Gear Second shit and join me in this intense blitzing session. Alright, I like it. I like this. This is actually a pretty good ending scene. I don't see Bellamy dying because Oda rarely does that type of stuff. But if he did die, this would be an appropriate way. If Luffy had actually killed Bellamy, that would actually, I think, to a certain degree, change Luffy's mindset on certain aspects of his psyche. Him being a pirate, he'd take things a lot more mature, I think so, if he were to kill someone like Bellamy. But then again, we'll have to wait and see about that. So overall, this is the chapter, and just make sure that there's no other page, you know, because after that we go into a picture of Garp and Roger. Okay, fine. So overall, that's the chapter. I will do the chapter review tomorrow, so I'll see you guys and gals later. Rate the video, comment, subscribe. Peace. Have a nice day.